Today I'm going to take just a little time to talk about my childhood Christianity and how I grew up and where I went to church and those type things. I lived in Richmond, Indiana, as I've stated in a couple other of the little short videos. And I went to a church called St. Paul's Episcopal Church. I didn't start going to church there until I was about 3 years of age. I think my sister Glory was about 6, I was about 3, and my sister Catherine maybe 2. And my parents, my mother and my father, actually didn't really go to church every Sunday. Matter of fact, my father rarely ever went to church. My mother would occasionally go to church, but most of the time on Sunday mornings, my mother would get up, and mostly my mother would drive us to church and pull up in front of the church in the car. We'd get out of the car, and the 3 kids, we'd dart right into the church. And of course, we had an Aunt Dorothy, which is my mother's sister, and my Uncle Ernie, which is her brother-in-law. And their families, they went to St. Paul's Episcopal Church too. So when we went into the church, kind of like Aunt Dorothy became our mother to watch over us, make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do right. And so that's how we went to church every Sunday. Now, in church, over a period of time, as I grew, I became what they call an acolyte in the Episcopal Church, where sometimes you would have a procession where the choir would come down the center of the church aisle and up to the altar and into the choral place where all the chorus people sat and the choir sat. And they'd usually have somebody holding a cross on a long stick in front of them and walk down. Sometimes I did that. Acolytes also help collect money and take the money afterwards into the parish office so they could take care of it from there. So acolytes were just helpers basically in the church and did a few things. But I also sang in the church choir. As I got a little older, I did that. And I can remember going to church where at Christmas time at St. Paul's we had brass bells of different notes, of the different musical scale notes. And we would have a group of kids, including myself, that have different notes, and we'd play Christmas carols by jingling the bells back and forth, up and down, and together and individually. And then we would go around the neighborhood and we'd do that to sing Christmas carols to people, and we'd also do it in front of the church. So I went to church, and of course I don't remember much about learning. I went to Sunday school classes, but I probably didn't pay very much attention. I was goofing off more than I was paying attention, and I had a tendency to run around the church. So when I got a little older and got ready to go into the military, I was age 17 and a half. At that time, I went into the military, and my going to church ceased. I was kind of like, well, I'm a man now. I can be like my father. He doesn't go to church. Now I don't need to go to church. So I just went all about my Navy business, did the things I needed to do, and became much of a heathen. I was a heathen before I went in the Navy, and now I'm a heathen even more because I'm not even going to church or being around Christians that could kind of keep me corralled a little bit. So I'll tell more about my story after joining the Navy and how I kind of distanced myself from attending church and walking with Christ. And then different people along the way took time to witness to me, water me, talk to me about Christ, and move me back in the direction of I should go back to church. But that'll come in another video. Anyway, the one thing I do want to say to whomever is listening to this video, I find it very important that if you think you believe in God, if you think Jesus, yeah, I believe him, but you don't walk with him, you don't talk with him, you don't read the Bible, you don't have a relationship with him, then you are very, very distant and you're not being that part. That used to be me. That's not me today, but that used to be me. And there is a world of difference in saying, I believe in God, I believe Jesus died on the cross, and actually walking with him, talking with him, and having a relationship with him this very day of your life. So I encourage you to take time and seek out Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior.